Hey everyone, welcome to the All Things Gratitude Podcast, Season 3. We are excited to be back. We took a little time off there to refresh and everything and, look at some strategic things for the future. And we're really happy with what we're going to come up with and what we're going to give you guys this year. And we're really excited for this. So, oh, shoot, I lost you. There it is. See, first season, always screwing up already. There it goes, echoing and everything. So, hey guys, thanks for having us. Our next guest is the founder and CEO of Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting LLC, where he helps entrepreneurs grow their businesses through strategic marketing.
I can't hear you,
and leadership. Can't hear me now? What happened? Are we all screwed up again? Is that me or you, dude? Are you there? Jordan, you there? Oh, you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's start this again.
Oh, you hear me now? Refresh. Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's all good. Hey, welcome to the All Things Gratitude Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Dorsey. Hey, welcome to Season 3 of the podcast. We're excited to be back. We got a lot of people asking us about if we're coming back and what we're doing. And it was great to hear all that. And I appreciate everybody's support through all this because on my end, I don't know if we're hitting anybody or doing good things, but people aren't enjoying it. And that's what we want to do, put smiles on people's faces. And if we can help one person, that's the best part of it all. So our next guest is the founder and CEO of Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting LLC, where he helps entrepreneurs grow their businesses through strategic marketing, sales, and leadership consulting. In April of 2019, Jordan started creating content on LinkedIn and quickly realized the power of organic reach. By December, he had amassed 20,000 followers using this strategy he now teaches his clients in his 12-week program. Since 2019, Jordan's content has reached over 4.3 million views, and his audience has expanded to a nice 64,000 plus followers. Now a full-time trailblazer, Jordan's goal is to help over 100 entrepreneurs grow their brands to increase their impact and income each year. Everyone, please welcome to the All Things Gratitude Podcast, Jordan Mendoza. What's up, Jordan?
Nick, what's up, my friend? So happy to be here. So happy, as you know, our family got sick. So happy to be feeling better, man. Being sick is no fun.
Absolutely. Hey, man, thanks for holding through there on the little technical difficulties up front. But hey, man, we got through them. That's what the first episode of every season does to you because we do this live. We're not going to edit anything. So that's where we're at. So I want to do a big shout out, everyone, to Jordan, because last year, the year before, when the pandemic really started hitting, I had some issues with work and everything and lost my job. And I reached out to some people, and Jordan was the only one to reach back. Hey, bro, if you can do this, I'll help put income in your money, in your pocket. I'll help you out with your family, and I'll help you get through this hard time. And, some things worked out well on that aspect. I learned a lot. We actually, I feel, formed a really stronger relationship because of that. And we've met each other a couple times, and man, that meant the world to me. I mean, everybody on this platform, I love a lot of people, but you're the only one that reached out and said, hey man, I got a business opportunity for you if you want to take it. So I really appreciate that, man.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm all about helping people, especially good people, right? You want to see people do well. And sometimes we get faced with tough things like lose a job. You might lose an income source. And, if I can be a resource or help somebody out, then that's what I'm going to do. So it's my pleasure, man.
Yeah, my wife and I really appreciate you. So thank you so much. So going on with, you started your own, when we first met, you're still working in corporate America, you're doing your thing there. You had your podcast really was your side project, but doing some of this consulting too, to start building your brand and everything. Just tell everybody why you started doing that and what was the transition going from corporate America now to being an entrepreneur and doing your own thing. Because I know we talked a lot, it was a scary process. It always is. And how's that transition been for you?
Yeah, well, man, it's all been a journey, as everything in life is, and whatever venture you're going to set forth to do, it's always going to be a process. There's always going to be lessons that you learn and mistakes that you make. And people that you connect with, along the way that maybe you stay connected with, and some that you might not. And that's really what my journey looked like. I was, working for Gables Residential, and man, I have nothing but great things to say about the organization. I was there 15 years. Not a lot of people can say they've worked at the same company for that long. And Nick, I mean, I'll be honest, there were times when I thought I'd be there forever. I thought I'd retire there. I thought I would move up the corporate ladder and become a VP, and then, maybe lead a department, or something like that. But, I started getting active on LinkedIn actually as a company goal. Some people know this story. Some people don't, but I started getting active because my company said, let's look at a social media source that, maybe can add value to our associates. We could create some content that we can interact and engage, and they can learn. And so I kind of stumbled on LinkedIn in April of 19. This was really when video just started to come out on the platform. And I got encouraged by some people that I met, like guys like Brian Schulman, who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and encouraged me to show up on video because, although you may see me all the time now, you may see me doing podcasts on cool shows like this show. It wasn't always like that. I had a fear of it. I was afraid to show up. I was afraid of what people were going to think about me. So, I've really grown a lot along the way in building up that confidence. And so that's something that I now really help a lot of clients with, and encouraging them to start showing up, because it's a powerful thing when people start to learn about you, not like, what you do for a living, but when they start to really, really learn about you, your story, your journey, maybe some adversities that you've faced. And that's really what my goal was on the platform, is like, how do I let people in and let people see a side of me that maybe they didn't know, and maybe they didn't care to know, but I'm going to show it to them anyways. And that way I can see who my real tribe is, And so that was really kind of the focus. And as you said, Nick, it just kind of took off, unexpectedly.
Yeah, I was fortunate to be hanging around with you and everything during your transition and talking with you through it. And you're very fortunate because you're so proactive before, and you had kind of this clientele base already there. When you hit it, yeah, there are little mistakes made, but man, you hit it going full force, and you had clientele already on the books. I mean, you already had income coming in. So, I mean, I just say, man, you did it the right way, man. You built that coming into it, and then you decided one day, okay, this is the day we're doing it. Let's start off. Was it 2020? I believe. Let's start off 2020 or 2000. Yeah, or 2021.
21. So yeah, officially,
21,
what, 4 days ago, just hit the year anniversary.
Yeah,
of leaving the corporate world, right? But and one thing I'll say for everyone that's going to watch this, or maybe you watch the replay, it started a lot longer than just in 2020, right? It started really in 2017 when I got certified in Myers-Briggs. That really opened my eyes, and I started to realize that now I have this asset, I have this certification that's super valuable, that can really help people get out of their own way, because a lot of us, until you actually understand how you're wired, it's very hard to really get a grasp of who you are. And it also is hard to understand other people. So getting certified in Myers-Briggs and starting to teach a leadership program and starting to get feedback from real people, right? Real humans that I was coaching. That's what really opened my eyes to professional development, and also seeing these skill sets that I didn't know I had. I didn't know I had, the ability to be a good listener and to be a good coach, and to help people get from where they were to where they wanted to be. And so going on my own personal development journey really helped see some of the strengths that I have, and I really just tried to capitalize on those strengths.
And you did such a good job of branding yourself on social media, especially on LinkedIn, where, you just took off there, and building these kind of programs without building them, I guess you would say, kind of, and just putting it out there and being consistent. You always say consistency will always win. You're consistent. You're there all the time. I know you have clients call you, and sometimes they're like, they really don't know what you do, but they know you're consistently there. So they're inquiring on what you can do to help them. And sometimes those are the best referrals ever, are from former clients and from people just, hey, I see you every day.
Yeah.
You have a smile on your face all the time. You're always being positive. You're saying great things. You're getting good results. What are you doing, man? And sometimes that's the best. It
Yeah,
really is.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I love that out of you.
organic conversations are my favorite, right? When someone finds you through something that you took time to build and put out, that's a great feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're going through all this, you're doing a podcast too, Blaze Your Own Trail podcast. If you guys didn't know, all his company and his podcast does have a reference to the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
We say, and me and Jordan naturally have a rival on that because I'm from Seattle and NBA stole my team, but whatever. But that's a different story. But I love your picture in the background with the bald eagle and everything. That's an awesome little thing you have there right over your shoulder, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And for anyone that doesn't know the story behind that, that was actually a gift from my team at Gables in the training department. And one of my former coworkers, Pablo, he shared a story, and I'm happy to share it, Nick, with the audience about the eagle. I don't know if you guys have heard the story before, but I'll give you kind of the condensed version of it. But basically, there was an eagle that grew up on a chicken farm. It walked like chickens, it talked like chickens, it hung out with the chickens, and it really thought it was a chicken. And so one day the farmer looked at the eagle and said, "Hey, it's actually time that you go to the top of the mountain and you spread your wings and you learn how to fly because you're an eagle." And this eagle had an identity crisis. It thought it was a chicken this whole time. And so one day the farmer brought the eagle up to the top of the mountain, and the eagle was afraid. It was looking over and seeing, these beautiful mountains and these trees. And the chicken farmer said, "Listen, you can never reach your full potential if you try hanging out with the chickens. You need to actually spread your wings, learn how to fly, because that's where your destiny is." And the eagle kind of spread his wings a little bit, leaned over towards the edge, and the chicken farmer pushed him, and the eagle started to fall down. But within a couple minutes, it spread its wings really wide, and you see that eagle start to soar. And it's such a cool story. And my coworker Pablo said that was me. He said, out of all the people on our team, you're ready. Like, you just need to leave the cage, leave your nest, and go spread your wings. So it's such a cool story to hear, and then to receive that picture in the mail. It was just such a kind of like icing on the cake.
That's awesome. I mean, one, it shows respect of your team that they liked you. So you made such a positive impact on somebody else or another team's lives. And that's huge for people. That's what they need in leadership. So that's awesome, man. Great story.
Appreciate it.
So I know going into it with all the stuff you're doing before you launched the company, you're building up and creating all this content and everything to have. So when you started out on your own, you had content ready and you started building programs like profile audits, like this 12-week program that we mentioned before the show. Give everybody a little insight on this 12-week program and what you're doing with it and how you're helping people, because you've had a lot of clients and they've been very successful. So
listen, first, I appreciate the opportunity to share. And really my program was born based on me being the case study, and I think a lot of people that may watch this or hear this, if you're thinking about creating something, if you've got these ideas that you want to get out there, my best advice is take that messy action. Start putting people through it. Even if it's just a part of your program, start actually putting people through it, start getting some results, because it's super important, folks, that you become a practitioner of what you're doing. Let me say that again. It's super important that you become a practitioner, because here's the thing. Nick, I wanted to prove, that I could do it on my own with my own brand, and I did it. But I also needed to show other people that it could be possible for them, right? So that's where those case studies come in, and that's where the testing comes in. So my 12-week program, it's very digestible, and what I mean by that is I broke each week up into chunks, because I come from a training background, Nick. I used to teach adults, grown-ups for 8 hours a day. 8 hours. I'd be in class with people. So what do I know about adults is we have a very short attention span, very short attention span. So each of the sessions is literally 3 different topics each week. And I do that so that I can teach you 3 things. You can take the 3 things, go apply the 3 things. You're going to get some homework, right? Because any good course should have homework. And then we're going to review the homework, review what you did, and we're going to move on week by week. But the reason why I built it that way is I'm taking people in 12 weeks from, optimizing their profile, right? Getting it dialed in so that it's actually ready for people to land on it. Their call to actions dialed in, their headline, their images, everything's dialed in. And that takes 2 weeks in my course. Why? Because it's important. Your foundation is important. It's important that your profile is ready to receive visitors to it. And that takes usually a couple weeks to get that done. And then from there, we go into content strategy. We go into, engagement strategies. We go into direct message. But what's really cool about my program is it's not just focused on one particular platform. LinkedIn's a big part of it, but I help my clients on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the other platforms that I'm also creating content on. But most importantly, my goal is to really truly help them monetize within the 12 weeks. So, if they've got a product or a service, it's literally getting that product or service in front of more eyeballs, in front of more people, so that they can actually have more opportunities to bring in revenue.
Absolutely. And there's other things besides your 12-week program too, Jordan. That's been great. I know you have some ventures going with other companies and everything, and with them more on a high level issue. But what are things you can bring to like the everyday company or other programs that you offer for them for social media to get their marketing and branding out there?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's definitely a lot. So one thing that some people don't know is I also do kind of a la carte consulting. So if you've maybe you just need a half hour with me, right? You need some time to pick my brain and learn what will work on a platform of your choosing. That's something I offer. And another thing that I'm really focusing on this year is building an offer that can really encompass and help people more long term. So if they want to, say, hey, we want to work with you this year, these are our goals, these are our strategies, and really building packages that can help support small businesses or even larger companies, that need the type of advice that I can bring to the table. And then more importantly, I'm really helping a lot of people get more organized in 2022 with their business because from what I've seen, and this is, having clients through some of the services that I offered in 2020 and 2021, I see that a lot of people have, one or two components of their business, but they have them on all these different places. And so I've actually partnered with a buddy of mine who's got a CRM, and I've built an offer where we actually help work with you. It's not done for you, but more done with you, but we'll actually help you get some of those pieces dialed in, like a funnel built, your landing pages, teach you how to use a CRM and how to actually build in some automations and workflows to get some time back, because as entrepreneurs and as solopreneurs and as, small business owners, one of the things you'll never get back is your time. And so we've actually built a service called Spark where we actually help give you some of that time back by partnering with you to build some of these systems and processes that are actually going to help you bring in more revenue and truthfully be able to engage with your audience more readily and in a better way.
And I know the system works because I'm able to call you more and talk to you more. You have more free time. So
100%.
I know Jordan's using it. It's been very successful. And I know he's given out to his clients, working with his clients, some of his clients on it. And, it's going to be a great tool. Like you said, time for a business owner, time is the most important thing. And 100%. You need that, and so that's awesome that you're developing that and getting to that point. So to help them out so they can do all those things, and get that time back because it's very important. Very important. So on other notes too, Jordan, since you have so much going on, you got 12-week programs, you got a la carte stuff, you can help anybody out pretty much with their social media needs and everything. How's the podcast going, man? You got a very successful podcast that is all over the place. You're trending in the world in some other countries, up on their lists. So, I mean, congratulations on that. How's that going for you? How's the
man, it's great. I came to the realization a couple months ago. I took a couple months off after season 3 wrapped up, and I realized like I didn't have a reason why I was doing seasons. So actually, I kicked it off with episode 81 a couple weeks ago. Just released episode 82 this week, and I'm just really just going by episode numbers now. So that's one thing that you'll notice that's different about the show is it's just going to be the episode number and an episode title. But the new thing that I've added for 22, and this has really come from feedback from a lot of you in my audience and some of Nick's audience, is people were saying, you know what, why don't you start showing up and doing episodes by yourself? And so that's something I've added. It's called Blazed Weekly. The first episode is out there. The first episode is live. So make sure you go check it out. I'm going to be releasing the second episode actually this week. So be on the lookout for that. And, you know, we're actually focusing on getting more content out with the podcast on YouTube. You know, we have a channel for the show itself. And then I've also got my personal branding channel that I was just talking to you off air just overnight. Found out that I became a YouTube partner. So super excited about, you know, those opportunities and, you know, being able to monetize on the YouTube platform as well.
That's awesome, man. I mean, just all your hard work, you can see it all starting to come together now. There's always more hard work to continue with, but, you know, 100%. You can see what you've done so far and, you know, everything's coming up. So somebody asked price range for your programs. I will put the link in the comments.
Perfect. Yeah, I appreciate that.
You guys can go to that. Like you said, it's a la carte, some of the stuff. So we're not going to give, I don't think it's fair to put a range out there or anything because everybody's needs are different.
100%.
You know, when it comes to certain things. So that's what's great about Jordan. He's flexible on this stuff. He'll work with you on what you need. It's not just, okay, it's this and that's it. You know, like a lot of people do. He'll sit down and talk with you.
Everybody's business is different, like you said, Nick. So everybody's got a different budget. Everybody's got different goals. And so I try to align everything together to make it work. So,
yeah. So that's awesome on that, you know. So it's not the same thing over and over and over. Just same program. I'm going down a list and that's it. No, he'll specialize for you on different things. So that's awesome. So, dude, I mean, you got so much going on, and I'm going to say I'm proud of you, you know, and I know I'm just a buddy of yours and everything, but I mean, I've seen where you've come in 2 years, man, and you've done a lot in 2 years. And if you don't know, Jordan also has 5 kids at home. So balancing out the family, you know, and God bless Natalie too.
It's all Natalie, guys. Let's not front about that. I've got an amazing partner, an amazing wife that is Superwoman. She does all the hard stuff so I can appear on cool podcasts like this. You know, she's the real MVP. Shout out to Natalie. Make sure you follow her on social. If you're a woman that has any amount of children, shameless plug for her. She wants to train you. She's a mom of 5 who's in incredible shape, and you know, so she can teach you not just about fitness, but about nutrition and about making your body healthier and stronger. So plug to my wife, Natalie. Go follow her on Instagram.
Awesome, man. Yeah, hit her up, guys. So I know you have goals and you do plans. I don't know how much you could say out to people, but can you give a little insight of what's 2022 going to look like for Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting?
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Natalie the other day. You know, we're talking about just getting that first year under my belt, right? A first year at anything is good, right? It's good that you kind of hit that first milestone. And then it occurred to me, I got a message from a buddy who I'm actually a co-author in a book with that's releasing this year. And so yeah, that's something that's super exciting. You know, I'm going to be a co-author of a book, and that's the book is called Brand Sharks, Unstoppable Strategies from Industry Leaders. And so, you know, for those of you that don't know, you know, my whole story and journey, it's going to be in the book. I'm going to, you know, kind of share some of that stuff about my life and about my journey. And then there's going to be some branding tips, of course, some tips, some, you know, actionable things that you can do and right now today to start making some progress.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on being part of the book, man. That's huge when people come to you and ask you. That means you're making your mark, you know, you're making a dent, either with someone personally or even in society itself. You know, people are noticing those things. So we'll talk about a signed copy after the show. But
of course.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Do you have anything you want to share out to the people? I mean, what is going on big right now?
Yeah. So, starting to get really active on TikTok. So, if you guys are on TikTok, we can go ahead and drop my handle somewhere. Nick will probably get it down the episode, but it was pretty cool. Right before the holiday, actually, I got invited to conduct an interview with TikTok, and so their small business team interviewed me about my business and about my podcast and about some of their ad tools and some of the features of the app. So that was really cool. And it, afforded me the opportunity to apply to be verified on the platform as well. And so right at the end of the year, I officially got verified on TikTok. And so it's the first platform I'm verified on. So I'm super excited about that. Not from the sense of, oh, you've got this blue check mark, but people know it's really me, right? People know that it is me. I have a business, I have a legitimate podcast, and no one else can, say that they're me, because I see that happening a lot, fake profiles being built and, ruining people's credibility. And so, that's kind of the first step from a social media standpoint. And my goal, of course, is to have that same mark on all the platforms so that people know it is really me when I'm putting out the content.
And that's awesome, and to be honest with you, if people who really engage every day on these platforms and do, I won't even say due diligence, but if you engage every day and you're on people's posts and everything, you'll know the fake people from the real people. I mean, it is 100%. Obvious. I mean, I'm not going to call this person out, but there's a lady who does a poll on LinkedIn. She puts a poll like every 3 hours. And she misspells a lot of words in it. A lot of the words are misspelled. It doesn't make sense, anything in there. I'm just like, this is such a bot, but they put a pretty face up there and people follow it, and it's too bad because that's taking content away from someone who's out there working hard to put their content out there to, make a living. I'm not saying 100%. That person's not making a living because it's probably a VA or somebody doing that stuff. But, it's just interesting, it just takes away a little bit, you unfollow the person, fine, but it's going to find a way back in your feed if you're liking other people's stuff who's connecting with them. So I love.
And listen, I think that's an important thing to bring up because it's not just LinkedIn that happens on. I mean, you go to any Sports Center post on Instagram and it's immediately 1,000 bots commented in the first second, and it's like, really, come on, like, and again, why are they doing that? Well, it's real estate, right? It's attention. It's, if I'm the first, commenter, then everyone else is going to see that comes on. So I get why they're doing it, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it kind of devalues other people's, in their creation, right? Because the eyeballs are getting shifted over to a place that doesn't serve a purpose or value to, someone just actually out there creating content to try to put their name out there, Yep.
I do like the new feature where you can go to the person's profile and hit the bell, and that's it's supposedly supposed to come first on your feed and everything. So I think that's a good feature they put out because I hear all these people complaining about polls and everything. Well, now go to the people's profiles, you hit that bell, and that should eliminate a good chunk of those.
Yep.
And so what do you think about polls? I do them.
Yep.
I like them, and people get mad on some of them. Oh, this has nothing to do with business. But at the same time, me as a person, you as a person, even seeing the real side of me, to me, is part of business too.
Oh, 100%.
That's how we build that relationship, and we know we can do business together for the next 10 years. And I know some people aren't like that.
The good news is we're always going to have different opinions.
Yeah,
always. I agree. Like there's no one that can disagree with that, right? That we're always going to have different opinions. And so polls give you, the user, the ability to participate or not.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see it and it annoys you, just keep scrolling. Like, don't engage with it. Don't go on there and be a jerk and leave a rude comment, because I see this stuff happen and they're like, stop with the poll. I'm like, well, stop participating in the poll then. If you don't like it, then just keep moving forward. You don't have to vote. You don't have to engage or participate. You don't have to give us your thoughts, but you can.
I agree.
That's what they're there for.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. What's your favorite color, red or blue? Yeah, I don't care for that one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's very easy. Like I tell people, if you don't like the stuff I'm putting out, just unfollow me. It takes care of that.
That's it.
Unfollow the people that, I mean, that's what the feature's there for. There's someone out there. He's all over the platform. He loses his mind on polls, and it's hilarious. I'm just like, dude, you have such a successful side business you're doing. You're generating a lot of engagement. Please stop losing your mind. It's not a good look, but that's it. That's who he is. So I can't tell him not be who he is. That's who his following likes and everything. And that's cool. But I just kind of laugh sometimes on how fired up people get over certain things. I'm like, it's a social media page. Just let it go, man. There's much more bigger problems than if somebody thinks the sky is blue or not, or the earth is round or flat. It's just like, just get past this. I mean, but I do give some people credit on these. Is some of these polls, people are like, well, that's not professional. That's what they do for work. So don't say they're not unprofessional, because maybe their marketing team told them to do something like this to get engagement, because polls do bring in a lot of views and a lot of engagement. They really do. And that's what the algorithm's favoring right now. So I take advantage of that. And
and one thing that's been interesting in testing polls is, typically when you do a regular standard like text post or video post, you don't want to put the link in the actual body of your post. But with polls, it's actually okay. Like I've seen no changes in conversions, with whatever call to action I'm actually putting in the poll. So that's just a little kind of pro tip. If you're creating polls, it's okay to actually put the link in the actual body of the copy. It's not going to diminish your results in converting or getting people to go to that link.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. And I always tell people when they fight against it, and this Jordan is somebody who's smart with marketing, will go with what the trend is at that moment. You may not agree with it or like it, but if you want to draw that views, if you want to draw people in, you take advantage of what's hot at that moment. Marketing changes constantly. I mean, this stuff can go away next week and we all have to adapt to something else, 100%. But at the same time, like you always said, when you adapt and you keep doing things, you're staying consistent. And that's what people see. People continuously see your face, my face. Gabe's been on here quite a bit. Gabe's face in their feed constantly, because we always show up. And that's the important key to this. It doesn't matter what type of post it is. If it's a video, text, or poll, you're always showing up. You're being consistent. You're the master at engaging on other people's posts. You're always encouraging people. You're always telling them, great idea. This is great. Keep up the great work. People remember those things. That's the biggest thing. They always remember that. So, man, keep up that, man. You're just crushing it when it comes to that. Your practice.
Appreciate it. Well, yeah. And listen, it's so important too, right? I think one of the things that I think we've all done something that we probably wish someone has given us kudos on, but maybe didn't, right? We've all been that person. So it's important for me to encourage people, especially because I know how it is as a person that's putting out content a lot and is showing up a lot. It's not always easy. You don't always feel like it. You don't always want to do it. And so for people actually showing up, I feel like it's our duty to encourage them,
Mm-hmm. Well, you practice what you preach. And I always look at it, Gary V's that way, man. That dude shows up and he put in, you may like his content or may not like it, but he plasters himself everywhere. So everyone knows who he is. To me, it's marketing genius, because people are just going to remember you when you're all over the place. I mean, that's just how it goes on a lot of those aspects. So no, great job with that, man. So, hey, you gave some pro tips going on there. We don't want to give away too many secrets, but do you have one last little nugget that the audience can take in that maybe it's something that's just like, to us, it's obvious, but when somebody's first getting into LinkedIn or first getting into business, when they're trying to strategize their marketing on here, what's just a little nugget that it's like, hey, somebody will think about it and say, hey, that makes sense. I never thought of that. But it's so it's right there. You know what I'm saying?
I will tell you. So so if you've got a pen, if you've got a paper or if you've got a notepad, like grab it real quick. And I'm going to give you guys, Nick, we'll give them a second. And I just want to make sure that people are actually here. So do me a favor. If you're watching this live, go ahead and write or type the word live in the chat right now. So if that's you, if you're watching this and this is live, type live in the chat. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and type in the word hashtag replay. Okay, so that means that you're not watching this live, you're watching this tomorrow or later or whenever you see this, because I'm just trying to see, do we have an active audience, who's all here? Let's see who comments, and we'll give them just a couple seconds. So this is something that I help a lot of clients with, and it's so underutilized on LinkedIn. So if you have a business, awesome, Gabe. See that, bro. If you have a podcast, if you're an author of a book, if you've got some other entity other than your own personal brand, one thing that I'm super bullish on having my clients do and really teaching people how to do is creating a company page for your business, for your podcast, for your book, for anything like that. And then using your personal brand to actually build that audience. And so here's what I mean by that. So I've got a company page, I've got my podcast page, as well as my personal LinkedIn page. Because I have those other entities, those other pages, I have the ability to interact, or someone on my team can interact as the admin of that page in content, right? Not just on the page itself. And so what you want to do is, like, for example, if I'm posting a podcast clip on my personal page, I'm like, hey, check this clip out. This is a clip from when I was on that amazing podcast, the All Things Gratitude podcast with Nick. Check out this cool clip, right? So I can post that clip and I can tag the Nick's podcast, All Things Gratitude. Well, now Nick can log in, right, as All Things Gratitude. And what can you do now, Nick?
I can comment on it, respond to it, engage to it.
Now you can come and comment on my post, engage on my post. And what else can you do? Can you only comment on it, or can you interact with other people that are there?
I'll be able to interact with everyone on it.
Right. You can. And so what you're doing, folks, right, is you are literally giving this page a personality. So if you actually check any comment I do, that we do from the Blaze Your Own Trail podcast page, it's always like, keep blazing. It's a bunch of like fire emojis. I've given that page this personality. And now over the last year, we've got over 1,300 followers, right? But that's all come from me tagging it and then coming back and interacting as that page. So if that's not a strategy that you've incorporated yet in 2022 for your business or your podcast or another page that you have, or maybe even a client's page, this could help your clients out. Make sure that you implement that and come over as the super admin and interact with the content.
Dead on right there, man. Tagging and strategic hashtags are huge. And I know that's all part of your 12-week program that you teach people and everything. But when I started strategic hashtagging and tagging people, that's when my views, that's when my engagement, that's when everything exploded. And that's when my followers just took off. And it's something simple, and you're not always tagging. And you remember, when I say strategic tagging, tag people that are going to engage. You just don't tag people with huge followings. I mean, that's fine. You might get some people drift in from that. But if you get people who are actively engaging, then you can have small networks. But if you have 100, let's say 20 people with like 1,000 followers, but all 20 of those people engage on yours, it's going to open up to theirs. It's going to open up to the person who sees that and open up. And there's where marketing starts. It's that waterfall effect, that domino effect. So
100%.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, we're going to get wrapped up here, man, really quick. And, we really enjoyed having you on, Jordan. And, I'm not trying to be biased. Jordan is one of my good buddies. And, but what he's done has just been amazing, and how he's got to where he's at. He's very successful right now, and it's just going to get even better, and he's doing great for himself, for his family, and for the people around him, and some stuff with society. He's in there doing stuff and helping people out. So, man, kudos to you, man. Before we get going, where can everybody find you, man?
Yeah, so I mean, there's plenty of places you can find me. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can search my channel on YouTube, Jordan Mendoza. TikTok is at Jordan J Mendoza. The same on Instagram. reach out to me. I love connecting with people. I love helping. If there's any way I can add value or service to you, it would be my honor. And Nick, I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, if you guys got any breakdancing videos, man, tag Jordan in them because he'll send you some back himself, man.
Yes, I will.
Those got some great stuff. Hey, guys, you can find me on the All Things Gratitude on YouTube podcast. We have a page there. We want to start building that up. And I'm only on LinkedIn. That's all I want to be. That's my platform I want to be on. I love it there. So please come find that. You can find us on Anchor, which puts us out to Pandora or whatever, all those other places. I don't even know where it goes to anymore. But I know it gets out there. I know I get hits and views. So I appreciate all that stuff from everyone. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in today. I'll hit up a post next week. We'll have a guest on next week. And I don't know what day yet, but we'll get that fired out. And then we'll go from there. Hey, everyone, have a great week. Jordan, thank you so much for jumping on. And make sure to check out Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting, everyone. Talk to you later.